All right, everybody. Well, thank you all for tuning in today and for all of you coming in right on the dot, 1 o'clock. So why don't you all go ahead and put in the chat where you're tuning in from. I am here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And if you don't know me yet, I am Colette Schnabel. I have been with Healy for just about 3 years, and I love supporting people and helping them just know and fully understand what MagHealy's doing, and how to just be fluid and be able to talk about it, and also for our own knowledge. So we have people coming in here from Seattle, Washington, a couple people from Seattle, people from Mexico. I'm glad that we have the closed captions. Good. Why don't you all go ahead and put in the chat if you have MagHealy, or how long you've been using Healy and its products. We have people coming in from Phoenix as well. So I like to call myself the biohacking mama, and I love biohacking. And if you didn't hear my call last week about what is biohacking, so biohacking is anything you're doing to enhance your life, to optimize your life, to be living life with more balance, more vitality, extending the longevity of your life. This is why I love to do this with our Healy products, is that for me in biohacking, it's a continuous education, right? I get to educate myself all the time. And by my education, I get to feel better. I get to use this wonderful modality, Healy and MagHealy, and I get to share with all of you. So thank you so much for today and spending time. Now, if at any point there's any questions, please put them in the chat. I will try to answer them to the best I can. And going forward, just so you all know, most of this information and all of my trainings have come from our amazing academy that we have. So if you have yet had the opportunity to go into the Healy Academy, please do so, and use the videos that are provided in the trainings for MagHealy. I was like watching them today and just recapping of how I wanted to present to you all. And it can get pretty sciencey, right? So I am not a quantum scientist. This is my interpretation on an easy way for us all to understand what we're doing here, okay? So let's get started, and I will continuously check the chat as we get going. Well, good, Cheryl. I am glad that you want to start using it more and understanding it more. And so that is what I hope that you can take out from this today. So starting off with, how is this MagHealy working? So MagHealy is working by emitting a pulsed magnetic field. It interacts with charged particles, or these are known as ions, inside our body and outside of our body. With this interaction, the electromagnetic field can then cause effect with these charged particles and change their polarity, their orientation, and cause them to move, right? We're creating and encouraging change inside these charged particles inside and outside of our body. So maybe you have heard people talk about PEMF, pulse electromagnetic field, right? Or pulsed magnetic field. So MagHealy, is working with pulsed magnetic field. So what are the differences between the two, okay? So a PEMF device creates a single electromagnetic field, and they are created by applying electric current to a coil. And that's what this example picture is coming from. PEMF, and what MagHealy is doing, and what is inside MagHealy, and we have 2 flat coils in combination with 2 frequency generators. So what are our frequency generators? That's what's making us unique, right? That's how we get those customized frequencies. So these frequency generators create 2 independent frequency modulated magnetic field with a frequency up to 12.5 megahertz, interacting with each other and their environment. So we have the ability to create and read at the same time. This is why, of course, our devices are so unique. So I wanted to share this with you because everything can emit, so many things can emit electromagnetic waves, right? So if we see here low frequency things or stuff like our computer, and we start to get up there around the 10 hertz, we had their AM radio. And then going forward, there's the FM radio, and then our cell phones and microwaves. And then the human bodies radiate heat. And then going up, there's the visible light. And then we have more of the super high frequencies, like the doctor medical devices, x-rays, and things like that. But the MagHealy is working inside this bracket right here, low frequency, all right? And I also like to point out as well, you'll probably come across this as we talk about Healy with our friends, that people could be concerned about EMF. And so you can just show them, if you want to show them this, or just tell them that, the EMFs that are being put out from your microwave, your Wi-Fi in your house, your cell phone, all of that is emitting far more than the safe range of where the MagHealy is lying, okay? Now, there's different sources of electromagnetic fields. There's the natural sources, like the Earth's electromagnetic field, visible light, lightning, and then the man-made sources, our electrical systems, Wi-Fi's, X-rays, remote controls, and mobile phones, like I was stating before. Hi, Izzy. Thanks for having you. I'm so glad that you're here and joining us. And you're not that late. We're just getting started. So the MagHealy Classic applications. This is a great place to start, right? And also it's the base of where our MagHealy is starting at, of how we can share this with people. Now, MagHealy works specifically on those charged particles and electric circuits within inside our own body. We can place the MagHealy directly on like our joints, or we can place it more like on our abdomen. Now, they have provided this beautiful guideline of how you can start using MagHealy and as on the classic applications. So you can see that they have different days of the week that you can try, morning, noon, and night. And starting with vitality, right? So vitality is, our life force. Let's make sure we are having amplitude of life force within inside of us. And then you can move forward. We're working on our energy circulation and then supporting our actual cells within inside the body. And in the evening, of course, regeneration, because that is where our body is working the hardest, is when we're sleeping, right? It's regenerating as we sleep. So people might ask, where do we find this? This amazing schedule or guideline that they have provided is actually in the MagHealy Classic application short video in your academy, okay? And I have spoke about these before, but I just wanted to highlight some of the wonderful classic programs that we have. So the cell harmony, really actually supporting the actual bioenergetic field of our cells. We spoke about the regeneration of vitality on the previous page, sleep. And then let's go down here and talk about the spherics and the pressure, right? So many of you have possibly heard of the Schumann resonance. So those frequencies, which is 7.5, is inside the pressure frequency, okay? So if you're feeling that you're out of sorts, pressure is a great program to support yourself with. So the MagHealy water, okay. So How many of you are using MagHealy water? I love the MagHealy water. Like, it's probably one of the things I use the most. And so people typically ask, well, how do I use it? Where should I put it? Well, it should be near or on top of your glass of water. Okay. I like mine on top. If I'm out to dinner with my friends, what do? We gather everyone's glasses at the table and put the MagHealy kind of in the center, so it's putting it out. But if you look at the bottom, you see the ring here. This is the strongest point of where these coils are inside. So to have it as close as possible next to it or on top, so the water is being influenced with the strongest frequencies. Why don't you guys go ahead and put in the chat what your favorite water programs are? Again, here is the wonderful guideline for the water programs of what we can do. And kidney is where they suggest we all start by using frequency water, okay? Supporting our kidneys. They are our internal life force. As Marcus has said, it's one of his favorite programs when we go into the regular Healy microcurrent programs. So if you're using the kidney programs throughout the day and then drinking the cell harmony water in the afternoon and supporting the nutrition transport as well, you can use that water. And then vagus harmony, because our vagus nerves really support so much with inside our body and our parasympathetic systems. So utilizing that in the evening as well. MagHealy water. Joyce says, I don't think I have a MagHealy. Well, Joyce, do you have this device right here at the top, the round device, or do you have the small square device? That would be the difference, okay? And if you guys are new to Healy, let me just kind of go over that for you. The difference is the Healy is our device where we can physically apply the frequencies cellularly into our body. And the Healy is the only device that can analyze us in our Heal Advisor Analyze app. The MagHealy is only delivering magnetic frequencies. We cannot analyze us on the MagHealy. And we have another question that's come up here. Can we run MagHealy programs and Healy Pink Dot programs with Coil at the same time? Absolutely. This is biohacking, right? A lot of biohackers, this is called stacking. So when you use multiple modalities at once. So you could even run microcurrent with the MagHealy and Coil if you had two Healys. So there's no right or wrong way. You can support yourself on many different levels with these beautiful devices that we have. All right, so let's talk about this MagHealy water that we have here. So we already talked about the kidneys. We talked about the vagus and cell harmony and nutrition transport. My absolute favorite is mental clarity, which is down here on the bottom. And if you guys all see, all of the programs only take 10 minutes to influence our water, right? So even if you have, I'll typically do like a giant mason jar in the morning. They do suggest that you can drink it straight away, but it will hold the frequencies for most of the day. So if you do a big one in the morning and you want to just pour throughout the day, you can do that. I love mental clarity. It's one of my favorites. I can literally notice within seconds it triggering and working, doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing, opening and expanding my mind. I think it was like 28 seconds was the time I actually had it. I timed it to see how quickly I felt the whoosh inside my brain. And then stress. We know how much stress plays an effect on our aging, on everything and its functions with inside our body, with inside our muscles. We hold it so much. So utilizing the stress water, if you know you're going to go into a stressful situation, and if you're lucky enough to know that, support yourself with before stress water. after stress, right? We can always support ourselves that way. Bioenergetic defense, okay? So supporting the coherent quantum structure of water to strengthen the bioenergetic field. And then the fasting. I love the fasting programs, okay? How many people do we have on the call that do intermittent fasting, or that maybe do full body cleanses a couple times a year, parasite cleansing? These frequency waters are going to be your new best friends, okay? Because typically when you're fasting, what happens? You get cravings, right? You'll get, or if you're cleansing, you get die-off symptoms, especially if you're parasite cleansing. These are going to help support you when those things arise, okay? I have done it specifically a lot when I do the parasite cleansing, and it really helps with those die-off symptoms, and it keeps you strong, mentally strong, to continue pushing through because you know the work you're doing on the inside. So I have a question here. If you run one in the morning and later in the afternoon, does it inform the water with different frequencies, or are they now combined? So you actually can also stack the frequencies that are imprinted in the water as well. I only just found this out too. Like I said, I'm continuously educating and learning as I go through this process. I have not done that yet. I still only do one frequency at a time. But like if you did 10 minutes for kidneys, and then you wanted to also put the skin harmony on top of that, you could do that as well. Oh, Izzy, thank you so much for sharing your experience with using the mental clarity and the stress programs. You do get the fasting a lot. So that's good. So Izzy sounds like she is using the Heal Advisor Analyze app to scan herself to see what MagHealy programs she's needing. And you can do that too. So if you have a resonance or above Healy device, you can scan yourself to find out what Healy programs you need. I think we have one more. It's okay. You don't need to leave. If people don't know where we are, that's okay. And also, these calls that I'm talking on right now, the Healy Product 101, they're all recorded and they're all posted in Healy World America's YouTube channel, okay? And the way it started was from the beginning, if you're brand new with Healy. So from the unboxing, you can go all the way back from when I started these calls and support yourself through that education as well. But please stay on the call because you can continue to learn as we go. All right. So the MagHealy Atmosphere programs. So the Atmosphere programs application uses one of the most important properties of the magnetic field, its ability to penetrate through space. The magnetic field lines emerge vertically from the center of the MagHealy device. You get the device. Excuse me. So they're coming out of the device, as you can see in the picture, right? So the magnetic fields emerge vertically from the center of the device and then find their way back through the other pole in a torus shape. And a torus is a geometric object that most people know the shape as a donut or a life preserver, as we see here. Along with the magnetic field, a magnetic vector potential field is always concurrently generated, resonating at the quantum level with a space and all matter within it. Okay, so what does that mean? So what that means is that it is analyzing if you're in the room. So it's going to be analyzing you, but it's also analyzing anything else in the space. Like, to me, that's like mind-blowing. Like, how does it do that? But it does. And it also operates in two distinct ways. The magnetic field directly speaks to me, right? And then the space. So other things that you will learn if you go and watch these videos in the academy, that they're also suggesting maybe some of you are familiar with feng shui. Maybe you do feng shui in your house. I do not. I would like to, right? Let's continue to learn. But they have suggested, making sure certain parts of the room, I believe it's east and north, are open and wide spaces, maybe windows. And so they're talking about different ways to utilize and open the space for the full potential of using these atmosphere programs, making sure that when we're placing MagHealy somewhere in the atmosphere for atmosphere, it's not in a cluttered space, okay? So if you're like having it in an office, put it on the center of the table so everyone can enjoy. If you have it in your living room, maybe put it on the coffee table so it's not all cluttered and stuck into something. Because when we're working with magnetic fields and magnetic frequencies, think of us or anything upright as an antenna that's going to receive these magnetic frequencies. And so as the magnetic frequency waves are moving and they come to us, it will slow them down. So that's why within the 1.5 meters or 5 feet around the MagHealy is the strongest emission of the magnetic frequencies that are being delivered. So, but if we're working within quantum space, those frequency waves will still go, but they will just weaken. I believe that's the right term. They're weakening as they extend over time. Just going to check the questions here. Great question. So we have a question here saying, can you run the atmosphere program while the MagHealy is charging? Absolutely. Yes, you can. And also, all the MagHealy programs, let me go to the next page here. All the MagHealy programs have this beautiful infinity sign next to it because they don't ever turn off until you turn off the device or stop it to put something else on. So that's why it works perfectly fine, placing it on the charger and allowing it to use the frequencies in the room. These are some of my favorite. These are not, so these programs I'm sharing with you guys today are my favorite ones. These are not all of the MagHealy programs, okay? So if you are not familiar with MagHealy yet, you can find out the rest of what the program descriptions are in your back office. So my favorites, working out, obviously, supporting yourself while you're working out in the room. So place that there if you're working out at home, or take it with you to the gym. Coherence. So one thing they spoke about in coherence in the videos in our academy is that if you are in a cluttered space, running the coherence program will help balance out the energies in the room. So that was one thing they suggested. Electrosensitivity. I really like this one, right? I use that one a lot when I'm at a hotel. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. I found this out a couple of years ago, that most of all of the tech, all of like the things that'll be emitting the EMFs when you're at a hotel are behind the headboard. Did you guys know that? And so that it's been suggested, and what I do now is I will actually turn my head in sleeper where the feet are. And now I can support myself while I'm sleeping with the electrosensitivity on the MagHealy. Holistic health. I love this one. I use this a lot inside my family. If anyone is, needing that support, and sleep and relaxation, of course. Right, Izzy? I know. Most people don't know that. Another thing, I don't need to get off topic, but if your bedroom backs up to your kitchen and you're behind your fridge, also that's a lot of EMFs that are emitted. So utilize MagHealy to support yourself that way as well. Okay, and here is the wonderful guideline that they have provided for the atmosphere programs. So we have energy that they're supporting in the mornings, coherence and relaxation, holistic health, electrosensitivity. But there is no right or wrong way. I get asked this a lot, like, well, I was told I should only start with these. There's no right or wrong way with frequencies, right? And that's the beauty of these products that we have, because they're customized to us every single time we're using them, depending on the programs that we choose. And so if Healy knows that we've had too much, then it will turn off. Same with MagHealy. So there's no right or wrong way. I love that they do give guidelines because some people like to have a little more structure when they're starting something new. So these are just, again, just beautiful guidelines to assist you. Okay, now let's get into our wonderful favorite woman, Dr. Carolyn McMakin. How many of you on the call are familiar with who this wonderful woman is, or have had the opportunity to listen to her, maybe read her book, The Resonance Effect? Go ahead and put in the comments if you know who I'm talking about. So, Dr. Carolyn McMakin is involved with Healy, and she has been on the forefront and leading FSM, which is frequency specific microcurrent. And good. I'm glad that people are reading the book. So just letting you guys know, this is what I do, especially if I have new people into Healy. I gift them the resonance effect, or I tell them to go and get it. Why? Because the way Dr. Carolyn McMakin speaks, she just makes it so easy to understand. And for those of us who are not quantum scientists, right? I want something to be able to be related, to be able to be spoken easily. And so she teaches beautifully that way. And if you haven't had the opportunity to hear her speak, that's okay. Actually, she has some YouTube videos online, so you can watch that, some of her stuff speaking. But get her book. It's a great way to understand how microcurrent frequencies are working specifically within the body. So we have 24 of the most important protocols that have been thoroughly researched and tested in her practice. Now, like I said, her practice specifically works with microcurrent, but the MagHealy transmits those protocols in this application at the bioenergetic level through magnetic field. This is one of the main features of the McMakin application. Two frequencies are always transmitted simultaneously. So, two different magnetic field. The first frequency defines the area or target of the application where the frequency, whereas the frequency of the second magnetic field targets the topic to be worked on. So some of us like to say one is working on the issue and the other is working on the tissue, okay? So working on the actual physical thing within the body and then working on the energetics around supporting that way. So their main purpose is to harmonize the bioenergetic field and thus increase well-being. It's suggested to drink a glass of water before and after, and also to make sure you're just thoroughly hydrated throughout the day. Why? Because the water inside us also reacts to the frequencies and allows them to work better, okay? So that's why it's extremely important to be highly hydrated when using frequencies. Okay, so then let's go to the next one. I think we have one more question just popped in. Oh, no, wait, okay. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm gonna put this question in the chat. I'm sorry, I don't know what it. Oh, I'm gonna give it to maybe Rita. You can tell me what this says. Okay. I'll get back to that last question that just came through, Anna. So there is a guideline for MagHealy. Okay, there's actually a 2-week guideline. So in the morning, there's been suggested to do detox and then moving into brain harmony. So if you have something in the morning and noon, you can do it that way. And then we have things for body comfort. And some of the McMakin frequencies can actually go like right on certain joints or wherever in the body what the programs are for. You can get it localized because there are things like for the kidney, or you can place them right on the lower abdomen. Maybe some of you have saw that, when we first got MagHealy, it was suggested to have up here in the upper thorax. Now we are moving them down to our abdomen more to make sure that it's moving throughout the entire body. Other things that are suggested to support yourself in the afternoon is digestion harmony and your vagus harmony. And then, of course, we have sleep. So if we go to the next page for the McMakin guideline, we have other things here, supporting our nerves and detoxing. I like the detox programs, right? Because that's assisting on the release of everything that's coming out. Because if you're using Healy and it's microcurrent, that is creating change. So you are just going to naturally start detoxing. All right. So supporting yourself with things moving. So by using the McMakin programs, assisting to make sure everything is coming out of the body, use those to support yourself through the detox. Okay. We have things here for digestion. So using that after lunch or dinner. And then look at all those beautiful ones they've suggested for the evening: brain harmony, emotions, sleep, vagus harmony. Love them. And then we have here some of my favorites. So after exercise, skin harmony. I love the vagus harmony. I was in a car accident in December, and my vagus nerve was shot for months. And so being able to support myself with these frequencies have really, really helped. I love brain harmony as well. Again, you see it states right there for after traumas. So I did use that as well. And detox and the kidneys. I love the kidneys. Look at that. This one, 92 wonderful minutes. For those of you using MagHealy, and maybe those of you who don't use MagHealy and don't know this, but when we're using it, it gets warm and it's relaxing and it feels great on our body. So I love the kidney program because it supports me that way. I'm just going to put this one question in the chat, and maybe if someone could help me interpret it, I would appreciate anyone who can assist me on that, because I want to make sure I can answer everybody's questions as I continue on here. And then, so that's the end of my presentation, but I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second because I do want to show you guys where all this is so you guys know where to find it all this information. So let me make sure I'm on the right page, and let me just get to the home first. Okay, so let me get back to this and I'll share my page with you guys. All right. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, everyone. Okay, what position? What position is more correct for placement? Are you talking about like either the upper thorax or the abdomen, Izzy? Okay. So this is our Healy Academy. How many of you have had the opportunity to, oh, thanks, Izzy. How many of you have had the opportunity to go in and utilize this beautiful academy? Healy has worked so hard putting together quality information for us to know these devices, to use these devices, and then to be able to share these devices with people. And so the academy has really been, oh, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so the intensity, I mean, that is up to you guys for in the room, because some of us can be energetically sensitive to frequencies. So it kind of depends to you. And they are, I believe, when we turn the MagHealy on, they are actually started at a specific intensity of where they suggest we have that starting intensity at, and you can move up and down from there. So again, there is no right or wrong way. You guys just use it as you see fit and as how you feel. Okay. So, I mean, if I'm working out, I might be cranking that thing up to 100%, but I do know that from my personal experience, when it's physically on the body, some programs I actually can only have it at like 15, 20%. But I, have been using these frequencies every day now for 3 years, and my body is easily adapted to frequencies. So I'm just a little more sensitive. And like I have come across people who've never used a Healy before, and they didn't even know that they were energetically sensitive, and then they had some things arise. So just really understanding and knowing how to support people, and there's no right or wrong way. You just got to see what feels best. Okay, so if we go here to products, and we go to MagHealy. Is it working? Okay. So we have our first steps video of, when you get your MagHealy, how to charge it. And then we have the guide for the MagHealy. So again, this is just talking about how the programs are working, how you can utilize it in all 4 different applications, how to use the app, and how to run the programs. There's troubleshooting and the expert area. These are all very short videos, okay? So if you're just getting new at it, or you wanted to support someone that bought a MagHealy, direct them to this, okay? So, or walk them through it go there with them and walk them through it. I want to really point out these videos going forward, the science behind MagHealy. This is, I think it's 13 minutes. And again, these are not that long. But if you really want to understand the concept behind electromagnetic fields and the magnetic frequencies that MagHealy is putting out, this is your video. I was like watching it, and I was gonna like start putting it all out for you guys, and I'm like, this is really sciencey. And I didn't want to come off that like this is the way I speak. So if you want to dive into that, I really suggest getting in there and watching it and rewatching it, because it might take a little bit for you to comprehend or understand what they're talking about. I know it took me like 4 times to watch it, stop, go back, watch it again. Like, what are they saying? And again, we have a beautiful one on McMakin too. So utilizing that. And then we have here the short, these are all like, I believe, less than like 6 minutes. Most of them are 2-3 minutes. So just talking about the programs and how I summarize them pretty much for you guys today, but you can use them on your time. Okay. And then I want to show you guys as well how you can support people or support yourselves in finding out more about the programs. So if we go to downloads at the top, and we find the country that we're in. So I'm in America. So let's go down to United States. I'm in the United States. And then I want to go to, I think it's material. So let's check that out. Oh, no, it's not material. Excuse me. Presentation. Let's see. So if we go to the MagHealy, so we have the whole McMakin training as a presentation. So you can download these and it will show up. We also have the MagHealy brochure and the scientific basis training. So if you want to download and maybe print it off, and then you can follow through on that video of how to use it. And then if we go to manuals, and so we have the manual for the MagHealy here. And then let's just go to, I think it might be, I'll just find it for you guys so you can see it, which one I'm talking about. MagHealy present. Oh, so there's a way to present the MagHealy too. So you can present it. And we already discussed that too. Where is the one I wanted to make sure you guys saw so you can learn more about all of the program descriptions. Manual. There's a presentation for the MagHealy. And then well, if you can't even find it here, it's also in your let's see if this will even turn on. Oh, this one's charged or not. I'll show you guys on my phone so you guys can find it on your phone. Oh, I forgot. I can't show you on my phone with the way this is set up. So on your guys' applications, on your apps on your phone, you guys know if you go to the Healy 2 app, the pink app, and you connect to your device, right? Take that few minutes. And now there. So if you go down to the bottom to Info Center in your app, well, you can't see it. Let's see if I can. Down to the Info Center, right? You can see there is information there. So you can go to Guide, and then the app will, the MagHealy app guide shows up for you. And in there, it will tell you actually the amount of times a day you should run it. It tells you the suggested intensity. So for example, the classic applications for cell harmony is intensity suggested between 70 to 100%. So that's a good way to answer that question. That was for you. So let's go find the applications for the atmosphere. Atmosphere between 30 to 100%. So they should all probably be starting at 30%. Okay. And inside this guide that's on your app is also the descriptions of the types of programs that are in there. So please utilize your guide that's inside the inside your Healy app. That's pretty much what I have for you guys today. But do you guys have more questions on how I could support you and answer any questions about MagHealy? I'm so thankful so many of you guys tuned in live today. It was so nice to share this afternoon with you all. But if there's no questions, I am going to end today. But thank you, Izzy. I appreciate you always coming on here. And Dixie, I'm glad you learned something new. Wonderful. That is my main purpose here, to support you all. I mean, MagHealy is great, and I love how versatile it is, right? And you know, now that we have this subscription option, it's easier for us to get this in people's hands. And now that we saw there's different ways to utilize the classic, but how we can support them in, you know, upgrading or trying the subscription models, right? And I would even suggest, you know, just having them try 1 month, right? Just try 1 month and see which ones that they use the most, see how they tried. And then from there, they can make the decision to extend their subscription, or they might want to just have the professional, right? But remember, the subscription model is how we're going to get that residual income. So utilizing this as a duplication process. So go through and share this with your community, listen to people and see how, oh, beautiful. Thank you so much for putting that in there, all that information. Lovely. Thank you so much. Please, yeah, use that of how you can support people. And hola from Cancun. Lovely. I'm glad I was able to support you guys. Please don't hesitate to ask any questions. And again, you can watch this replay and share it with your community once it's posted on Healy World Americas. I hope everybody has a lovely afternoon and a great start to your weekend. Starting tomorrow. All right, everyone, have a great day. Bye.